So since I put the VQ3 up on the roof of the garage, I now have the test pole empty. And I don't really have any builds in mind at the moment. So I'm going to put my Maco V58 back up in the air. I'm going to put it up on this pole. It'll be roughly, I don't know, 14, 15 feet up to the base, which it's good enough. It's better than having nothing on this pole and just having it leaning on that stack of tires. Once I get an antenna back on it, I can move the tires back out of the middle of my yard. All right, I'm going to get to it and put that antenna up on the pole, get everything all connected. I'll bring it back in a couple of minutes. It's all mounted on the test pole. Now I just got to stand it up. Got the coax all secured back to the mast. Got the coax, even though this may not be in the air for a long time, I still sealed the connector. This is the last time I had this in the air. I ended up with some corrosion in there after about 3 months. So I decided just to seal it, even though it's not going to stay sealing anyway. I got a couple of extra, I have a lot of birds that land on my antennas. So I'd zip tied some string. And the string is heavily waxed, so it shouldn't hold any water and it won't mess with the tuning. But when it's in the air, the strings are taut. And they'll just stop it from when we have some large birds, and if they land on this, I just don't want them putting it out of tune. I also added a 1-inch piece of PVC pipe. I'm bumping you all over the place. If you see in the instructions, let's get that camera to focus. If you see in the instructions, they say this gap is critical. So I just used a piece of 1-inch PVC pipe, a 1-inch long PVC pipe that fit right over the nuts and bolts, and then use some zip ties just to hold the two at the 1 inch. Again, just because I have so many birds that land on my antenna. Before I transmit on the radio, especially coming up, these days coming, I have to go outside and scare the birds away first. I once had a bird land and sit and fall asleep inside of the gamma match on my Maco M103. I had to wiggle the antenna a couple of times to get the bird to wake up. When I first keyed up, my match was sky high. As soon as the bird flew away, it went back to normal. All right, let me get this thing stood up in the air. Maybe I can get Barbara to work the camera for me and you guys can see me stand it up. This is actually pretty easy. Like I said, the base of the antenna is roughly 15 feet above the ground when it's stood up. And then we have 20 feet of antenna with the radials, but I'll show you, it's not difficult at all to stand it up. There's nothing. Oh, the wind is wanting to take it. Once it's in place, the wind can't take it anymore. Simple as that.
I don't know if they can see all the way up or not.
No, don't do that way. Point it this way. Well, the last time I had that antenna in the air, I must have done a pretty good job of tuning it. Because look what the antenna analyzer has to say. 1.01 to... Oh, look at that. It went flat for a second. Look at that. Flat match. And 49 ohms of resistance on the channel that I use the most, on 38. How fantastic is that? Look at that. Dead flat. Nice. I forgot that I had it tuned. I thought for sure I was going to have to drop that antenna down and put a new tune on it. But look at that. First time up in the air. Perfect match. All right, guys. I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Before we go, I just wanted to show you that pole is kind of wonky. It's got a bunch of bends in it. Once the support line is attached, because I don't know if you noticed before, it was going pretty crooked. Actually, I'm going to need to go around to the other side of it because the sun is going to completely blind us. My jack stands for the antenna. All right, now if we go over here and I keep this camera as level as I can, the antenna is pretty straight up there. Wait, look at that pole. Woo-wee, did I have to pull that thing way over. It's got one heck of a bend at the top of that angle brace there. All right, now we're done. See you guys.